Hey, this is Beth
and Jayme,
and we're the Geriatric Millennials, two youngish, oldish ladies talking about some of our new favorite local hangouts.
I know.
We had an adventure day, guys.
We actually went to them together at the same time.
It was a very exciting Saturday.
It was. I feel like we haven't done that before.
I know we've done a girls trip before, but there's other people involved, but we've never done a solo Beth and Jayme adventure day.
I know.
It was really fun. So we have been so enjoying sharing our favorite local spots with you all. And so we were like, you know what? We need to experience some new places together.
Yeah, we did.
And then share. So we actually made it happen, which is shocking as two 40-year-old plussers. Because I tell you, like,
well, it's not that shocking. It's not shocking for me. You know what's shocking is that you left your house.
I know. I just want to state for the record, I do leave my house all the time. It's just on weekends because I've been out all week.
Right.
I just like to be home. Also, I don't want to engage with humans.
I know.
So it makes it so hard. Like if I could go out and all I had to deal with was like nobody and cats, I'd be happy.
Nobody and cats. I love that.
Or just, the random stray cute dog. Hey, there you go, puppy. That just brings a little like light to your soul. But yeah, as soon as I have to deal with like traffic, which we don't have real traffic in our town, or like a Costco crowd.
You know what? Though?
Over.
I mean, I think you are speaking truth because you were driving.
Yeah.
And when we got to the parking lot,
oh my gosh.
it was a little stressful.
So I picked Jayme up and
I wish I would have recorded this. I wish I would have had my phone out.
It was ridiculous. Well, and it was a really cold day, which it wasn't supposed to be. I don't know. We get to our first spot, which is this coffee shop. We're going to talk about it. But the parking is like one of those, it's
so narrow.
It was so narrow.
It felt like we were in Seattle or something.
Yes. And it was both sides. There was parking. And everybody's parked diagonally or slanted, or I don't know the right term because I'm not a parking guru. But it was just like all of these big old SUVs and trucks and minivans, their big old butts sticking out. And it's just like, oh my gosh,
Beth was feeling
wiggle through them.
claustrophobic.
I felt I feel the same way though in like a parking garage. Like when you're going
absolutely.
through I'm ducking and like, ma'am, what are you doing? You're inside the car. But that was the feeling. It felt very claustrophobic. And then I didn't want to park anywhere near that.
Well, and there really wasn't any spots, and then it just starts to go downhill.
Oh yeah, it was like this very
literally
steep hill.
the little road that we were on in the parking lot starts going, and you can't really see where the road's going to go.
It was
these things stress us out now these days. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Like when I'm driving on the highway home and there's two cars next to me
oh my
and
gosh,
I'm in the middle,
that's the worst feeling.
I'm like, I got to slow down or speed
I'm going to
up.
have a panic attack.
Because I was taught because we did back in my day, we did driver's ed in school. Like now they have driving schools, but we did it as a course.
I just had to pay for that for my kid.
Oh, killer. But it was really interesting because fifth period, I have driver's ed. And so I remember going to driver's ed and they always said, when you're driving, always make sure that you have an exit strategy. And that stuck with me. Like when I'm driving, I'm always like, okay, what's going to happen if that semi, comes into my lane? I'm like, oh, nobody's on my right. I'm going to go, whatever it is.
I never took driver's ed.
Oh.
Your face.
I mean, what do they do in Canada?
Well, I studied the manual.
And you don't have to take a driven?
Yeah, and I took the test. I took the written test and then I took the drive test and I practiced. But I never took driver's ed. Well, I learned how to drive in Belize.
Oh,
okay. I was 13 years old. So this is a farming community. Yeah. So everybody learns how to drive when their brains are like not developed and they shouldn't be driving, but whatever. So I was 13 and we have a long driveway. Mm-hmm. And my dad made me learn how to drive backwards.
Oh.
Before I was allowed to drive forward.
Like you just drove in reverse.
I had to drive in reverse.
Okay.
Down the driveway and then back and then down the drive, like the long driveway. Yeah, that's how I was raised. That's my dad. He's like, anybody can drive forward.
Oh my gosh. It's very Fast and the Furious. I love it.
But I did learn how to handle my vehicle. I learned where my wheels were and it's true. Driving backwards is a lot harder.
I learned where my wheels were. They're under the car.
No, but you know when you're backing up, it is a different.
It's
very
different.
And of course, back in those days, there was no camera or anything. You had to like literally crane your neck.
Yeah.
Turn around, put your arm over the
oh yeah
thing.
Those were the days.
And it was a standard like
manual. It was a manual.
Yeah. Anyway,
okay.
That's not what this podcast is about.
It is not. But if you, I
wanted my kid to learn how to drive that too. But it's like it's like hard to find a vehicle like that now.
Yeah.
Around here.
I know.
I was told.
It is
by my husband.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think that, I think most cars are
neither
automatic.
of our cars are. So I was like, well, I'm not going to
buy a new car.
I'm not going to try to figure out how to teach him that. So I don't know.
So we are going to talk about our journey today.
Yeah, we are.
So the journey started with me picking Jayme up, us having a parking adventure, and then we ended up at this really cute coffee shop called Novel.
I had never been there before.
Same. And somebody had given me a gift certificate. Oh my gosh, that's how old I am. A gift certificate. Do you remember back in the day you got a paper certificate numbered? That's how you got a gift card. So I got a digital gift card because it's 2023. And we walk in. And it was super cute.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a great spot because everything is intentional in that place. Mm-hmm. You walk in and there's an entire wall of books
because it's
like
called
open
Novel.
books that are kind of stapled to the wall.
Yeah.
Like open, like they're...
So you see the pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool. And then they had like old typewriters and really like a lot of mid-century modern furniture.
Yeah.
And they had an interesting menu. They had boba tea and then they had coffee drinks. And then they had like a mushroom powder additive.
I know, which I got added to my drink.
Yeah.
And we hadn't eaten anything. So we did get some food.
Well, let me just say I had eaten breakfast because I was up at 5 a.m. But yeah, we got their, they had different toasts. Like it was very, millennial of us. But
because we got avocado
toast. I got just plain avocado toast.
And I got a bacon one.
Yeah. And then they had so they had savory and sweet. So I ended up getting a boba and the flavor that I wanted, they were out. And so they were like, oh, well, we have this and this and this. And I was like, just surprise me because that's who I am now.
Beth is brave.
But it was really good. It was like some strawberry peachy or something drink.
Do you even know what it actually turned out to be? Did they tell you?
They did tell me, but I forgot. I know part of it was strawberry, but it was good. And the boba was pretty good for like a non-boba specific place.
Right.
Yeah. And like the atmosphere was jam-packed in there.
It was. I think there was only one man in there and a lot of women.
Yeah. It was definitely like
it was a Saturday morning.
Yes. And we sat with the stranger, which was fun.
We did.
And we did not engage except for to smile pleasantly as we were so annoying and we're taking all of these pictures and stuff.
we were trying so hard to get good content and angles of stuff. We're like, oh, let's take a picture of me holding this drink and
I know.
Oh, let's take a picture of the wall and us. Anyway,
we're slated to be the next big TikTok influencers, guys.
I don't think so. I do not think so.
But it was just like a nice, great way to start a Saturday, honestly.
Totally.
And so then
I want to go back there.
Oh yeah, I would totally go back. Totally go back. I really want to try their sweet toast. It was like bananas and peanut butter. I can't remember, but it looked good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after that, we made the long journey down the hill back to my car. Mm-hmm. And we went to, we have this area called the Parkway, which is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it would be a normal city's downtown, but we don't have a downtown cutesy area. And so we go and we were actually looking. So we've already reviewed this store, but there's the little plant shop is there. And so we were going to go just pop in, but they weren't open yet.
Because it's their second location and I hadn't been in there yet, but I've been following on their Instagram and it looks so cute. I wanted to go.
So cute, but they weren't quite open. And so we were just kind of walking around.
We were too early.
Yeah, because we're early birds because we're old. But we found this brand new store that just had opened called the Teal Box. And it was super cute.
It had me cracking up.
Jayme was like, look at this.
I was laughing so hard everywhere I turned because it has all these little things like, I don't know.
Like tea towels and magnets
and stuff like that have funny sayings and words and I don't know. I mean, there's just...
It was like the quintessential gift shop.
Totally.
And their whole gimmick is that it's a place where you can like kind of easily build your own gift boxes for people. And they come in this cute teal box and like it's super easy to ship stuff off. So if you're like needing a gift for an out of town friend or whatever, super easy just to like grab and go. Mm-hmm. So many options. They had kid stuff, baby stuff, like vintage lady stuff.
Yeah,
and by vintage I just mean old lady stuff, like for us older millennials. But it was super cute.
Yeah, it was.
And then we turned the corner in the same store and they have a flower bar.
I know.
Oh, it was so cute. It was build your own bouquets. Beautiful flowers. It was just like a good vibe.
It was.
Yeah, so that was super fun. Next up, we went to this Asian market and it was... I loved it.
I think that was my favorite. Yeah. I think it was totally my favorite. I could be lost in that store probably for a couple of hours just looking
at
things on the shelf and trying to figure out what they are.
Yeah. Well, and our community doesn't have like a giant, like an H Mart or anything, but we do have like a few small Asian markets. And so this one has stuff from...
But this is a big one.
It was pretty big, yeah.
They have an entire super long aisle from top to bottom with different kinds of rice noodles.
Yeah.
I mean, I have never seen so much variety of rice noodles. I had no idea that was...
I know.
Like that there were that many or that there are that many. And I'm sure there's even more, but I did not know. This is a whole new world to me because I was like, but they're all rice noodles.
Yeah.
They're
all different
rice noodles.
Yeah. It was really cool. It was it's just a standard market with like different sauces and different tons of noodles and rice. And they had great vegetables. Like I love Korean sweet potatoes and they had them in stock and I was so excited. They're like they are kind of purple and they have like a really with a white inside and they have this really sweet texture. And then they had my favorite fish cakes. Like I was so excited. I have not had them in years because I've never found somewhere that has them in stock here. So
well, I was kind of fascinated by looking in the freezer too because there was a lot of like things that I wasn't sure that what they were. And also they had lots of little fish.
Yeah.
Like frozen fish.
Yep.
Little
tons.
Like
anchovies and
sardines maybe?
And stuff. Yeah.
And then they also had a lot of vegetables that I don't even recognize.
Yeah. We looked up one. It was, what was the name of that one? It was so interesting.
Chamoya or something?
Yeah. And we were just like, somebody was buying a case of it. Yeah, it was a fruit.
And okay, for one of these fruits, one fruit was $7.
Yeah.
One piece of fruit.
Yeah. And they bought like hundreds of dollars worth. It was amazing. We're like, what are you making with this?
I said, and so I asked the guy, because that's who I am. I'm like, hey.
The guy that's working behind the counter.
Well, but I asked the guy who was buying them. I was
both of them.
I know. I was like, can you tell me about this fruit? Like, what are you doing with this? And he's like, I have no idea. It's for my mom's friend. And I was like, oh.
And then we asked
the
guy
owner, working there, and he was kind of like, I don't know. And so we're like, okay, thanks. And so then we went and Googled it in the car after.
Yeah.
There were a lot of fascinating things in there, like so many different kinds of candies.
Yes. The candies were huge. I bought a giant bag. It was like $5. It was like a gajillion pieces of this candy. And it was kind of like a soft, chewy, similar to taffy, but like a little bit stiffer. Anyway, I took it to work and like people have been eating it up.
Really?
Like, I have we had like an intern type student there and I was helping with something and he's like, this candy is good. And I was like, do you want to take some more? And so I gave him like a giant cup full of candy. So yeah, it was just really fun.
Are you the candy lady at your work?
I am the candy lady.
That's cool.
Yeah. I do it to manipulate people into coming into my office and distracting me so that I can take breaks.
That's hilarious. That's a great strategy.
Yeah. And yeah, it's fun to be like, I always like to try and bring good stuff.
Speaking of candy at work, there has been this box of candy at my work ever since Halloween.
Oh,
it's kind of terrible because I keep eating it.
Yeah. So my trick is I tend to buy candy that I don't like.
Oh, I've already eaten all the candy that I like. Literally today I ate, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces of candy. Nice. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. I need to throw it in the trash.
Or give it to the youth group.
Well, I think that's why it's there.
Oh. But I keep eating it. But it's fine. But yeah,
it's a problem.
It was so great. And I've been, the market we went to was so great. And I just have to say, like, I've had so many great meals off those fish cakes.
You know what? I forgot, but I bought penne curry and I need to make it.
Yes.
Because that's my favorite. I hope I can make it taste good.
Yeah, that's always the key.
I know. I also found a spice that I wanted that I'm going to use one day as well.
I know. It's just, I just like it. I like to be adventurous, even though I have to be careful so people don't call me out, but I do like to try new things and new foods.
Yeah.
And so I think those are just great places to experiment and just see like, oh, I've heard of this before, but never tasted it. And just adding a new flavor to your cooking regime. At the same time, I usually eat the same thing all the time. So that's why I have friends that are like, you don't eat anything different. And I'm like, okay, but I like to.
Yeah.
It just doesn't usually end up in rotation.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were starting to get a little hungry. So we went to this bakery that was so good.
This bakery it was so pretty.
Yeah.
Like everything in there was
it was gorgeous.
Pretty. That it was almost too pretty to eat. I gotta say, like their little treats and stuff are like works of art.
Yeah. So it's called the Layered Bakery and it's in another downtown area in our cities that we live in. And you go in and it's like brick walls and it's chandeliers. And
that's right. They had like kind of a cluster of chandeliers.
Yeah, it was
that was really
cool.
pretty.
They have this giant countertop filled with just amazing looking desserts. I had gone in there at Christmas time and got a gingerbread cookie, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm like, obviously they're not going to have them right now.
I know. I wish they did,
but I did want one.
Because I would have gotten that.
Yeah. It was, oh my gosh, it was so good. But they have just a wide variety. So they had like fluffy homemade marshmallows, and they had a lot of like different like chocolates, and they had cookies and tarts. And I got this.
How was that cake thing?
Yeah. So I got this thing called a cake cup. And so it's like a deconstructed cake, and they make all these wedding cakes. And I'm like, the scrap, not
the stuff that they cut off the sides.
It looks like they took them and crumbled them up, and then they added a scoop of the filling and a scoop of the frosting and put it in a cup, and then you could just like dip into it. It was actually pretty good. The only problem was like I didn't realize how cool it was because it had been in the fridge. It needs to sit out for a little bit to let that frosting get, a little warmer, so it's not like whatever, but it was really good. So I actually ended up buying some candy from them. It was like white chocolate, but it was pink, and it had like little freckles of flavorings. I don't know.
Yeah.
I took that to work and I was sharing with people, and I'm like getting brownie points.
Yeah.
But it was super cute. I think I know I'll definitely go back when I'm in that side of town just to like taste something different, something new. But it was good. I got side desserts for like 4 days straight because
that's exciting.
I was supporting small businesses.
You were more than I was. I only bought one.
Yeah. So we also,
but it was funny because I was like, Beth, should I buy stuff for my kids? And she's like, heck no. Because like, just get it for yourself. And I was like, okay.
It's like decent bakery prices. So
it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but it's not like, I mean, you're paying because it's like, not the grocery store bakery, totally. It's just another level. So while we were down there too, we stopped at this little store. It's a secondhand store and vintage store.
It's like consignment, isn't it?
I think it's partially consignment too. Like it's a lot of things.
It is a lot of things.
And it's called Threads.
I was kind of just taking it all in.
Yeah. They do so it's really neat because they do a really good job of like merchandising and like displaying all the clothes and making collections. And they just had a wide variety of clothing, like name brand and not name brand, and like jumpers and shoes and furs.
I think I don't know if they specialize in vintage, but kind of like, I think that's.
Yeah, I think they try to find pieces.
Curate it. I think they curate it. It's not like going into Goodwill.
No, it's very curated. It's definitely for someone that's like whoever has designed the store definitely has an eye. Yeah. Jayme tried on a really cute dress, but it
wasn't that cute on me.
Yeah. That's the worst. And that's the thing that does, that does stink about vintage is just like, or used or whatever, is that it's like, oh, well, there's no other size.
Right.
You need to size up.
It was a cute dress, but it just didn't fit me properly. And it was also kind of uncomfortable. It felt like putting on a sock.
Oh, that's not good.
Like a body sock.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No.
They had all of these they had some really wild, almost like prom dress looking dresses from like different eras that I was like, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Who's wearing that now? I'd like to see how you put it together.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And remember that jumper?
Yes.
What color was it?
I don't know. Was it? Oh no, I'm thinking there was a really cute black leather dress there. It was so cute.
It was.
But I don't know. But they had jumpers, they had rompers, they had everything.
Yeah, they had a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's so many like great little shops, and we walked by some other places too. We went back to a Gathered Home, which we had featured on one of our last.
That's right.
Local
and I don't think I'd ever been in there before.
And they had like tons of plants and just, it was super random. But they had these cups in there that were so cute. These little vintage stoneware cups.
You almost
that were in
them.
earth tones. They were so flippin' adorable. It was 3 for $18. I wanted them so bad. They were so petite. I'm like, I can drink my morning water out of this, whatever. But I got up to the counter and one of them had a chip in the lip, and it was just enough that I'm like,
yeah.
Because then
that was unfortunate.
It was, and I'm probably will find out later. Like, yeah, you could have just sanded that down, or it wouldn't have mattered. But I don't know. I like to.
Who's going to really do that though?
Nobody.
No, you just have to let it go.
Nobody wasn't meant for that. No, but I did take a picture because I love the colors so much. So I've become that person. Just, oh, this inspires me. I'm going to put it on my vision board for cups. Anyway, but
do you have one of those?
A vision board?
Yeah.
Yes.
For cups?
No. For life.
You do?
Yeah, I made one years ago. Yeah.
Oh, is it like up to date? Do you add stuff to it? I want to know more.
No, I just made it.
Is it still accurate?
I mean, I don't grow as a person. So yeah, it's still accurate. It's all the same
You do
things.
too.
Absolutely not. But yeah, I have a vision board.
I have a vision board in my head, which is not a vision board.
No. Maybe we should talk about vision boards more.
Maybe.
Yeah. At some point.
But then I'd have to actually have physical things to put on it.
Yeah. You just cut them out of magazines.
Yeah,
and
magazines.
stuff.
Yeah, what is that? I don't want a magazine
Okay.
at my house.
Nobody's saying you have to keep it at your house. You just buy them at the library, cut them up and throw them in the garbage or recycle if you're, so inclined.
I guess that's
or print them out of you don't probably have a printer.
I do have a printer. I'm not gonna print colored pictures. I'm cheap, dude.
Okay. Well, you can come to my house because I have unlimited color printing.
Okay, there we go.
Oh my gosh. So we had a lot of fun together.
We did.
I tuckered out though. Like we were going to try and hit one more place. And I looked at Jayme and I was just like,
we're all done.
I'm done. I'm done. Like it was so much.
Well, we did go to quite a few places.
Yeah. And it was for me, it was a long day because,
apparently you were up at 5.
That's my normal wake up time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just because I don't know. I usually Saturdays I'm so chill. So having to get up and get out and like go be in like
around
whatever.
people.
We also went to a little candy shop. I can't remember the name, but it was like very small. But I bought some of these grape jellies that were from Japan, I think. Oh my gosh. They were the most insane like jelly candy I've ever had. Like gummy
insane
candy.
in a good way?
Yes. So they're like
Are they all gone?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to have one. I took them to work and I was like, oh, I'll share these. And I had one and then I ate the whole package that day. So they're great, like grape flavored. So like, oh my
like
gosh,
a purple grape?
A purple grape.
Yes.
But it's a grape jelly, but on the outside it had a skin that was also
like a
jelly.
Grape?
Like a grape.
Interesting.
And so
was it like eating jelly?
Yeah, it was like eating a gummy, but then it had like this thing. It was good though. It was just like, what is happening in my mouth?
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to share. So I was going to like ask a friend, taste this. But then I was like, I don't want to share. So then I just had to like have the experience by myself.
That's so funny. I might need to go there and get some.
Yeah. I was just like, these are fun. I've just never had anything like that. And I was like, this was an experience.
Was it like a gusher?
It was like a jelly on the inside that then had a thin coating on the outside that was a little bit denser so that it kind of peeled off, but it was still gummy too. It was wild.
I really like gummy candy.
Oh, me too. I love a grape gummy and we don't typically have those in like, US candies. You have to get them like from South Korea or Japan or China. And I'm just like so living for the fact that there's places to get those here. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Local Love, Volume 3.
Mm-hmm. We recommend all the places. Go to Novel.
Yes. And like the Teal Box, they have a website. So there you go.
Oh.
So if you are not local, you could order for them online.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to put links to these places in our show notes?
So there'll be links to all of these places in the show notes. And then we're also going to be featuring them on our Instagram. So if you're not following us,
all our great content that we tried to capture.
You'll get to see us. You'll get to see our attempt at being influencers.
I tried to take pictures of Beth taking pictures.
Yeah. Jayme and then airdropped me a bunch of pictures. I'm like, Jayme. But there's some cute ones in there. Yeah. So we're excited to share the adventure with you. And then if you get to try them out, like definitely let us know. Again, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials. Leave a comment about if you go to any of these places and just like,
I want to know.
Yeah. We want to know what you buy, what you get at the Novel. What's your favorite drink? If you get the mushroom additive, not that kind of mushrooms, people.
Right. I couldn't even taste it.
But it's supposed to be good for you because
I know. Fungus. They had a whole write-up about all the benefits.
So yeah, I think there's a big benefit to shopping local and to supporting local businesses and to celebrating people that are out there making it happen because having a business is not easy. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, we had really great customer service at all the places that we ended up going to.
We did.
And yeah, it was a really good time. So 10 out of 10 for a day. Nope, just kidding. It was like an 8 out of 10 for the day. If you're enjoying the podcast and would like to support the show, you can share episodes with your friends and family, follow us on Instagram at the Geriatric Millennials, or leave us a positive review and rating, all which help us to grow. Our theme music was created by the Finley Ghost. Check out their latest album now. Thank you so much.